Grind channel. Here today, folks, we got a Blitz tournament, which means this is a qualifier. The top 16 qualify in to a single elimination bracket. Exciting times. I am LaRock. I'll be on the mic for you today. Joining me is one music maestro, Schwartz Gandhi. How you doing, Chief?
Mornin. I am doing swell today.
Excellent, excellent. Probably better than me because I realized I needed to crop their streams, but I did it just now. We're playing fast and loose. You love to see it.
I love not having to worry about the restream, just having to be the commentary guy.
It do be nice. It do be nice. We have our classic blue slam start, which is hilarious. LZR has a little bit of a different start and a little bit of a different end. So for our start, you start with, and some custom shenanigans going on 4.0 here, you start with two of some very powerful moves. The moves include two shopkeepers, so Cranky, Funky, Candy. You don't necessarily have those. In this case, we don't start with Cranky, but we start with Funky and Candy. Also eligible to start with was Camera, Shockwave, but we just happen to not get those. You also start with 4 random moves. In this case, we got 2 guns, Punch, and Slam. Coconut, Peanut, Punch, Slam. Very nice start. And we are flying fast and loose. It appears the race room is ready. We've got 16 people in here, but we also have a handful of asyncs. Let me check the count on that. I believe it's 9 asyncs. So we have, that means 25 total, only 16 will qualify.
That's quite a lot of people to be interested in LZR.
LZR is very difficult. This is a lower turnout than usual, but that's because only the most dedicated make it to this point. JXJacob, MikeChamp, known LZR enthusiasts. Gotta keep them in the loop on this one. So we'll see how they perform on this one. Oh, and I didn't ping the Discord. Oh no, they're gonna hate me. They are gonna hate me.
Oh, point and laugh
one of these
at
days.
this user.
I know. You loyal viewers who are here immediately. You are the GOAT. So we'll make sure it'll ping the people. We are just about good to go. So. Oh, even Mike was the one who caught that no Discord announcement. What an absolute hero. A hero of the restream, and here he is. Occasionally on the mic is the mic. In this case, on the sticks today. So, a couple other things to keep in mind are keys. You get 4 random keys in BLZR, just like straight 4 random ones. Because keys are a little bit weirder because they don't necessarily lead to levels, they just lead to entrances, which is a little bit weirder. 4 random keys. Oh gosh, what else? Your end game is 2 random K-Rool or 2 random phases, but the phases can include TNS or Troffenskopf bosses. So it can get real weird real quick. You can get like a puff toss in your end game and have a very fast end game. So we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be wild. Immediately Mike runs into, and we run into the back of the mill. Oh no. The back of the mill is notorious for being...
Okay.
The back of the mill is notorious for being filled with entrances that are difficult to keep track of. Alright, and wow, and we find the power hut walking out of...
Okay.
I think that was walking out of the back of the mill? That's crazy! That is... Or no, that was entering the spider boss, I think. I think that's what that was. Okay, there's so much to unpack here. So, we found...
Yeah. Holy crap. Okay.
Wait, we got Diddy instantly. Where did Diddy turn up?
Diddy was in the power hut.
Diddy was in the power hut. Holy cow! There is so much happening. It is so hard to wrangle what's going on. Jacob has found the lower tunnel out of the Japes entrance. Mike has found the crypt area. Exiting factory led to the crypt. Exiting level from factory put you walking out of the crypt. What that means is that if you walked back into the crypt, you would enter factory. This would be really awkward if he didn't just find Diddy, because we have Peanut, so we can open the crypt, walk back in, and we have access to the entirety of Frantic Factory. Factory's a tricky level to get access to. You'll love to see it. This is a nice find for Mike early. He's in good shape. Meanwhile, Jacob has been floating around the lower tunnel, which is filled with all sorts of random entrances. This tunnel is kind of notorious as a connector. It contains a shop. Sometimes very important to find this one. Let's see where this continues to connect to. I missed where the dungeon entrance led to, but... Oh my god, we are hitting the greatest hits of LZR as the lower tunnel connects into the front of the mill. Unbelievable.
Alright, And there's DK in the mushroom innards on the Kasplat.
Wow. DK, hello. And then all that leaves is Chunky. So there's already major divergence, and this is classic LZR. One person runs one way and the other person runs the other, and they found different Kongs in different levels. Jacob's found the inside of the mushroom, which is an excellent pickup. And let's see, this was... I believe that was exiting forest, I'm guessing? This is already a total mess.
Either exiting forest or the mill, the front of the mills.
It can't possibly be anything besides that, because like there's just no way he got here in time.
Yeah.
It would be wild.
Right, and ooh, top of the mushroom goes to Castle Main. That's good. A lot of checks there.
Top of the mushroom is Castle Main. Yep. Castle's the level we gotta find. The tricky thing with LZR is just finding access to all your levels. If you know where all your levels are, you're generally in good shape. Because then as hints roll in, as they will slowly roll in with progressive hints on GBs, you should find a way to get places, which will be excellent. I'm having to reorganize my notes as we go. This is crazy. Oh boy, this is the first time we've put LZR on the restream, and trying to keep track of everything and figuring out where everything is just going to be an absolute madhouse. So please bear with me as we experience some growing pains and discover some stuff. So we have Funky, which means we can walk into Funky's shop and buy stuff if we want, but we do not have Cranky. So if we find a Cranky, we're going to walk into that shop, and he's just not going to be there. He'll tell you what level he's in, but that's the most you're going to get, which is not great. We'll see when somebody runs into Cranky. Wow, and Jacob just got ejected out the mouth of Cremile. That's very funny. If the mouth is not open, you just drop.
Nice.
So entering Factory Lobby puts you in Caves Lobby, which kicks you out in Snides. So that's just a shockingly coherent loading zone for our usual LZR standards. That one actually makes sense.
What a nice loop. Yeah.
Wow, and okay, so entering the prison puts you in the Crusher Room. The Crusher Room is notorious for being your factory access. Usually what has to happen is you have to death warp, which means you die. When you die, just in DK64, you get taken to the level portal of that level. And so the Crusher Room is often used to die in the Crusher Room, and then you end up at the start of Factory, which is all sorts of useful. Oh my god, that is the factory boss with a tiny potion.
Okay.
What could that possibly be? We have no idea how useful this tiny potion is. It's a total crapshoot, but we don't have barrels.
And we don't have those.
We'll have to deal with that. Factory is often a level that you really want to clear because there's just a bunch of really easy stuff to do. It's very funny that they found it in two completely different ways, which means they're clearing it with different Kongs. Jacob coming in with DK and Coconut, I think might have an edge. He'll be able to get Donkey's Medal. He'll be able to check the Power Hut entrance. Whereas Mike with Diddy and Peanut gets a couple more Diddy checks, like Diddy's Medal. I think that's the list.
Oh, medals. I didn't even think about that.
Medals are a bit of a mess in LZR, as you might imagine. It's one of the reasons why it's so nice to be able to just run around and pick stuff up. Get access to levels.
You never know if you're going to find another entrance that has the rest of your CBs, so you might as well pick them all up
pretty much
as you see them.
Right, finding the Power Hut is a huge burst of Donkey CBs, but it's only helpful if you have Donkey, so. The Block Tower's third melon? I actually missed that. That's so funny. Alright, first set of hints here. Here we go. We got some action here. Entering Forest Back Mill to Spider should be a great entrance to your quest. We got entrance hints. Here we go. Lock in. So the thing with that is that means if you follow that entrance, you will find something that is Way of the Horde, more or less. And in this case, that led to the Power Hut, which got us Diddy. So we know Diddy is Way of the Horde. Not exactly breaking any new ground here. We have a final Diddy phase, which means we need Peanut and Rocket Barrel. Fortunately, we start with Peanut. That's pretty convenient. And unfortunately, that's about all the info we get. Donkey's held by a Kasplatin Forest. We know where that is. That's the one of the Mushroom Insides. And I think we got a Diddy hint, didn't we? Helm a donkey medal is on the way of the Horde. So that looks a little bit scarier than it probably is, because Helm is in a random location. We have no idea where that is. Didn't we just get like a path to key 7 and key 8 hint? Let me...
Yeah, key 7 and 8's to Diddy phase. I think I saw another key, but I missed that one.
So Helm always has key 8, but where Helm is random. So because Peanut is on the path to key 7 and 8, it's possible like key 7 is in Helm. That's Shockwave on Counting Game. That's a big item to find.
Ooh. Yeah.
Huge for having DK coming into Factory. Mike is not going to have DK. It might be some time before he comes back for that, unless it's hinted. Because that's really, really easy to orphan. Alright.
Another white vial in the punch cage.
We actually did get a Scouring hint for 2 potions. Oh, wow. Key 1 on... Ooh. Oh, but Key 1 on Factory Diddy medals, so they're going to be trading haymakers on what's important. Because Mike walks away with a key, but Jacob walks away with Shockwave.
Interesting.
And we do need all 8 keys to get into K-Roll. We know where key 8 is, but we don't know where key 1, key 5, and key 7 are. I guess we just found key 1, but you need those 3 keys, or we need all the keys, so all 4 keys you don't start with, including the one in Helm. And you need whatever moves you need to beat K-Roll with. We know one of them is we know one of them is Diddy phase, so we know we need Peanut and Rocket Barrel, but we don't know what the other phase is. We're going to kind of hope that our hints tell us that. Push comes to shove, the wall and Helm will tell us. It's possible that the most likely scenario is that it's kind of easy, and maybe it's like a Puff Toss boss or something. Jacob has entered the Power Hut and encountered the Seal Race. This is a classic. You can often find the Seal Race, but the problem is that the hint for what the seal has is decoupled from the race itself. The hint is outside the race, so a lot of the time, you end up racing the seal blind, and you just hope it's good.
Oh.
So, off Jacob goes. Cranky is an Aztec. That's our Cranky hint. We don't know where in Aztec. We just know he's in Aztec. Aztec is another level that's sometimes tricky to find. A lot of the time you find it by either dying in the 5-door temple or just finding a random exit into the back of Aztec because there's so many entrances there. Often a little trickier than average to find, but still pretty doable. Alright, let's see what else we got. We got a lanky dungeon hinted.
Oh.
Oh wow, and we actually got a potion on a seal race. We got Spring.
Yeah.
That's huge. Or at least, that's kind of nice. I don't know how useful Spring is, but I will not complain. We have an Isles Donkey Coconut Cage is way of the Horde. And we know where DK is. Jacob will just get that hint and be like, I can do that immediately. Mike will have to probably struggle for a little bit to figure out where DK is. This is a crazy divergence. Yeah. They made one decision at the start of the seed that's slightly different, and already their seeds are going.
Yeah. I think Mike is set up better because he at least has a Wath hint that points to DK, but he doesn't know that yet, so...
I think I agree. Well...
well, he hasn't found inside of the mushroom yet, so yeah, I guess he doesn't know how far away he is from that, so...
It's tricky to say. I think neither entrance is particularly difficult to find. There were like literally both of their first entrances they checked were important ones. Very important ones they found. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a matter of time before that. Like, one of them checked the Isle's Mouth, the other one checked the Japes Lobby entrance. Kind of a coin toss on which one you do at the start of the seed. The other one, they're going to do the other one pretty soon. Once they finish up their factory routes, they're going to kick back to Isles and be like, okay, where do I go from here? So in the meantime, they just kind of have to start clearing out factory. Let's look at our other entrance hints that might be interesting. So back of the middle to Spider. That was the Power Hut. We needed that for Diddy, so that one is solved. Main to Dark Rafters. So that Spring is going to be Way of the Horde, because that's the spring-locked Diddy Dark Rafter entrance. So Spring is Way of the Horde, so finding that is actually pretty useful for Jacob. He can kind of use that information. Make of it what you will. Chunky's found by Diddy and Galleon. When we find Galleon remains to be seen. Japes colored bananas to key 8. It's probably a Helm instrument. We don't know our Helm order yet. We'll have to talk to Snide to figure that out. Unless one of them has already, and I did notice because it's kind of a madhouse out here. giant mushroom exterior is foolish. Not particularly inspiring. There's only a handful of things. Was that... Where was that factory? Where was that factory lobby entrance? Was that entering the crusher room? Where did Mike just come from? How did he find that? Because he just found Aztec. Oh, but he can't do anything here. Oh my god. Okay, so exiting Aztec puts you in Japes. Japes is another very difficult level to get to. This is a nice pickup here. So he'll have more stuff to do, and this will keep him away from Isles for a while.
Okay, now it looks like Jacob... Nope, he went in the direction. I was going to say he was going to retread some of Mike's tracks, but nope, we found the ballroom, which Mike has not seen yet.
The ballroom is a connector. That monkey port pad, because it takes you to a different map, counts as an entrance. So Jacob is going to be rolling through here. I didn't see where that came from. Donkey
That came from leaving the crypt cavern.
Leaving the crypt. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because he was just there from exiting factory. And then that connects into the lighthouse, which is pretty nice to have DK for. Nice chunk of DK CBs in here. Okay, we're back to slowly piecing together what the heck happened here.
Alright, this is Jacob's first batch of hints. So,
oh, he's gonna get some great info here. He'll be happy to see that.
Yep.
We just got our snide info though, so we got a Donkey Diddy Helm, which means that Donkey Helm, that Helm Donkey Medal is on the path to Key 8. It's like on the way, so things on the path to entering, or things on the path to Key 8 are pretty likely to end up on the path to whatever that way the Horde is. Maybe that's your guitar, maybe that's just for your other Helm instrument or something.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of weird.
I mean,
possible.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say I'm glad I haven't found a ton of things yet because it makes my life easier as I continue to scramble to find things. Continue to scramble to find notes. I don't even know if we're caught up on hints yet. I think we are.
I think so.
Oh,
Oh, the bean! Oh, the bean!
Bean!
Oh, bean sighting!
Bean sighting on Jape's boss?
Yes.
Okay, Jacob just walked into that factory or forest lobby. And I don't see how he got there. Did he, like, exit level? These exit levels are so fast, it's hard to catch him. Okay, so two more interesting Way of the Hordes or two more interesting hints. Aztec Shops, Key 7, Key 8, and Diddy K roll, which is very interesting. So whatever we get in the Aztec Shops is probably going to have to combine with our peanuts somehow. Remains to be seen. And Jape's Tiny Metal is Way of the Horde, and that one's kind of annoying because it needs coconut, or it needs like feather, coconut, or mini, or some combination of them. Or some weird things can happen, and you can find the shell hive somewhere and get a bunch of CBs out of that. That crown name is Stupid Panic. I just want that noted for the record. That really sums up my mood.
It knows.
It really... Randos, it's got a mind of its own sometimes. Exit level from Galleon. Okay, thank you. Cool. Tracks. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. They found Galleon a couple times and then just pause exiting out of that. It's good to check what entrances you get access to from pause exiting, just to build your map. They're taking extensive notes on this, I'm pretty sure. I've got my own sheet to keep track of entrances. I'm sure they've each got their own sheet. Somehow they're both high-fiving the Jape Stormy Tunnel at the same time. That's kind of crazy. Gotta pick up ferries because you never know when you're gonna run into BFI. That's random. If you just find the ferry, it sure is convenient to have your requisite 4 ferries needed before finding her. Similarly, like pearls, you never know when you're going to find the mermaid. Just never know. This seed feels like it's going to be a tale of two paths. It's going to be a donkey seed. You either played a donkey seed or you played a diddy seed. Like, who did you get first? Because whoever you got first is going to dictate how things go for a while. Oh, that's brutal. That is a red slam japes.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So, because slam strength is shuffled, the level of slam in each level is pseudo-random, basically. You don't know what you're going to get. So in this case, we got a castle as a green slime level. There's 4 green slime levels, 2 blue slime levels, 1 red slime level. Wow, okay, so Jacob just sees the bean on the boss and then doesn't go pick it up, even though he has Donkey. Mike is excusable, because he didn't have Donkey. He couldn't enter that boss room.
Yeah, what are the chances that Mike's actually going to go back for the bean once he finds DK?
But Jacob has DK right now. He could at least look at what that boss is, just for the people. He chose not to. Let's put that one on the record. Okay, 2 medals in the lanky two-door ship, or in the two-door ship. That's not particularly inspiring. There you go. I was entering the greenhouse. Who cares? That's the kind of thing. You don't need to write it down. You kind of already got everything you wanted out of that entrance. Who cares? I'm not writing that down. Forget about it. I'm gonna forget about it because we never need to go back there like ever, unless we need like galleon access for some reason. But I don't think that'll be our best.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. The classic climb down castle. LZR often puts you up at the top of castle, so you end up dropping down from the top rather than climbing up, which is kind of convenient in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and it lets you just have a nice, leisurely stroll and admire the scene. Gather your thoughts.
And boy, howdy, do you ever need to gather your thoughts on this one?
Exactly.
Let's see where Mike takes his next plan. He might try and capitalize on being in castle for a while, or at any point, you could just run back to Isles. The thing with Isles entrances, ooh, summon the hive. That one's got pineapple. Not bad. Maybe useful, hard to say. I don't believe we have anything of the sort hinted.
Mike didn't grab that?
What was that ball?
He left Japes.
Which room was that in the ballroom? Was that Chunky Underground? Oh, here we go.
Not sure.
We've got Factory CV's Key 1, so there is Jacob's info on how to get Key 1. Castle CV's to Key 8. And then the big one, Castle Surroundings to Dogadon 1 Final. So we need barrel throwing. And Mike has turned around and found his way into the mushroom and is going to get his donkey for it. That's a big pickup.
Excellent.
I think he found it through a castle entrance, but he's about to discover that it was much easier to get to by just exiting forest. Very convenient to get back into that mushroom. Yeah, Mike was not thrilled with that one. A little bit awkward. We've got our first look at caves. Caves can be sometimes a deceptively tricky level to get into. But got Lanky's Igloo is a cheeky way to get in sometimes. Just a GB in here, but more importantly perhaps is we can choose to die in here. This death warp is out of logic for very complicated reasons, but Jacob is choosing to take the time to get access to the rest of caves.
Yeah. He got trolled by the third melon too, so now it's take a little bit extra time.
Well, like you start with 1 instrument upgrade, so there's just a chance you can hit the other one, and you've got 3 melons, and your death warps take a while. Not too bad, though. Mike is coming up on this hinted entrance. Worth noting, BLZR, the preset that we're running. Balanced loading zone randomizer. This has dusk enabled, so day and night doors, be gone. You're not. What time of day it is? Oh no, this sucks. We got an upper cabin. That is Way of the Horde. Something in here is Way of the Horde. Is it the ferry? Is it that vial? It looks like it might be that vial. Ooh. Now that's weird, because Rocket Barrel, which is on the path to Diddy Phase, is going to be on the path to that item. There's a clear vial that's Rocket Barrel locked as well in caves. Interesting. Let's see if we might be able to swipe that. See if Jacob might be able to swipe that. Oh, and we have our first Galleon access. Galleon main access. We've got an exit out of the Galleon 2-door ship, which means we can go swimming for a while. Rocket Barrel for oranges is not particularly inspiring, but I won't complain about that. Now, I know what some of you were thinking. Hang on. What is this Mike guy doing? He doesn't have diving. How is he underwater? Well, it turns out diving is only necessary to go from surface to underwater, and that's what the rules stipulate. Entrances can, and often do, spit you out underwater in Galleon Shipyard, and that's perfectly fine. You start swimming. You're off to the races. Diving, conveniently very carefully worded, to only cover going from surface to underwater. So without diving, you are not allowed to go from surface to underwater, but if you just started underwater, did you go from surface to underwater? No, you didn't. You're good to go. However, that does mean Mike has to be careful. As soon as he surfaces, that's sort of a commit. He is done clearing out the underwater. So he's probably going to swim around here, get a bunch of CBs, and then surface to go check out the shops. Candy not really giving us the goods. Fortunate. Caves as a green slam level is a little unfortunate because the 2 slams that Jacob has just done are the only 2 slams in the entire level. So.
Okay, but if you think about it, the boulder switch counts as another switch.
It is
actually, there's 2 of them. But, yeah, when's boulder strength same?
You've got to smuggle the large boulder out of caves to be able to press down some other switches?
Yeah. I know a certain Aussie who might be interested in it.
a certain Australian who might be interested in smuggling caves giant boulder all the way out to Isles. Very interesting, very interesting. I'm sure that won't cause a headache with things you might be able to do with a larger platform you could arbitrarily place. I'm trying to think what he wants to do. What does he want to do? He's waiting for the ferry. Okay, there we go. Nothing.
Don't give the devs ideas. No, I will give them all of my ideas. Because I am a genius.
There you go. Oh! Galleon okay. Diddy Metal turns out to be chunky. We had hinted Galleon or Diddy in Galleon, and that's the whole family. 25 minutes in, we got a family. That's gotta feel pretty great. And I mean, I would be thrilled with that because a lot of the times in LZR, your progression can be Kongs and like super late. It could be like 2 hours in. So having it like under half an hour in, your whole family, Mike's got to be feeling on top of the world here. He's in the driver's seat on this seat. He's got the whole family. That helps tremendously with your clear as you just arbitrarily run around the world.
Oh my gosh, it's a crown.
Lion crown. My goodness. Is it a sign? Is Mike the king of today? He seems to be on the right track here. Thinking about what he needs to beat the game. He needs key 5 and key 7. We have a bunch of key 7 hints, which we can't really do anything about. We have no key 5 hints at all, and we know we need barrels. And I guess we need bongos and guitar to get through Helm. Okay, so we'll revisit what all we need later because it's going to be kind of Can be a little tricky. And there's still a lot of things to be found.
Okay. Jacob's found the dungeon.
This is
That's
the
good. We have mausoleum.
This is the mausoleum. The dungeon is going to be
Dang,
separate.
I got mixed up.
Right. We do have those entrance hints that actually I think all our entrance hints are solved right now. We only got 2 of them, and I believe they're both resolved. We actually are not really.
Oh, okay. So, Lanky Dungeon is walked. So that blue potion in Diddy Upper Cabin is probably balloon, if I had to guess.
Oh, there's key 5. Whoa.
Oh, key 5 was just there. Nobody looked. I hadn't seen that.
Well, it could be balloon or it could be trombone actually. That is
true.
That is possible.
Okay.
Because both of those are required for our.
I think it's just funnier to say balloon.
Alright, and now it's Mike's turn to find the lower tunnel at last. This is the entrance that Jacob took at the very start of the seed and sent him all the way through factory to find DK really quickly. Or, it found him DK really quickly and then that sent him to factory, but Mike found it in a different way and sort of made it all work. So there's a bit of a... The main differential right now is that Mike has more Kongs, which is excellent. And Jacob, to show for it, has Shockwave, which is definitely going to be very tricky for Mike to find. It's a really awkward spot. And he's got Spring, which we know to be Way of the Horde, so that's just good information. And he's got a couple GBs on him. Not too many, but just a couple. Worth noting, in BLZR, 40 GBs. You need 40 GBs to get past a Helm door to get to Key 8. So you do need to collect GBs as you go, but not near as many as, say, Season 3. These GBs are kind of ones that kind of like fall in your lap. It's just kind of like a reward for collecting things as you go. It's not necessarily the main objective. The main objective in LZR is very much unwrapping the world and figuring out where everything is. Okay. Coconut on the path to keys 5, 7, and 8 is very interesting. The Seal Race, Way of the Horde. Because that was our spring, so that's nice. Factory Diddy Metal, that's our key 1. Great hint. But Jacob doesn't have Diddy, which makes things super awkward if he just simply went into the... Where does he need to go? He needs to go into Isle's Mouth, and he will probably work his way towards Diddy pretty quickly, I think. But he's looking at other things. He's trying to leverage his Shockwave, looking at some dirt patches. Hive Tunnel area on the path to Doggedon 1. Oh, we have a castle surroundings to Doggedon 1, and Hive to Doggedon 1, and we found a pineapple in the Hive Tunnel area. You think of what I'm thinking?
Ooh.
Thinking we got some tree sniping to do. We might end up with a Way of the Horde sniper somewhere. Meanwhile, Mike just found Aztec. I believe that was entering Aztec lobby, put him in the back of Aztec, which is pretty nice. We need Aztec to check out the shops. We need something from the shops for Key 7, Key 8, and Diddy K. Roll. Also, we're noting we just got Coconut on the path to 5, 7, and 8, which is very weird. A little bit unusual. As far as interactions go, you might combine Coconut and Peanut somehow for Key 7, Key 8. Maybe. Or whatever you find in the Aztec shops, perhaps. Maybe the Aztec shops have Cranky, and Cranky is the guy you buy it from an Aztec. The paths can work out in weird ways when you start throwing shopkeepers into the mix. Jacob, I beg you, please enter the Isle's Mouth. It would be very good for you. I promise. Exiting Japes spits you out here. I think this is how Mike got into Castle. Exiting Japes spits you out of the library. More hints for Mike. Jacob just looked at these. He's going to get that information for Coconut and be like, yep, I sure used Coconut to get Key 5. That makes a lot of sense. But then he's going to see the Seal Race and he's going to be like, oh my god, where the heck is that? Because the Seal Race, if I'm not mistaken, the Seal Race was the Power Hut, which means it's Coconut locked. So your Spring is on the path to 7 and 8. Interesting.
Okay.
Probably that feels related to upper cabin shenanigans, but Rocket Barrel is the big question mark then. Surely, maybe we can just buy Rocket Barrel, perhaps off Candy. That would make our life much easier. And then when we know we have Rocket Barrel, a way to kill the enemies in the form of oranges, which is Rocket Barrel locked, and Spring, we can just do upper cabin whenever we want.
Ooh, feather on Tiny's castle metal.
Wow, how did Mike not get that? That's kind of
Mike,
weird.
yeah, Mike literally like walked down part of castle.
Yeah, I thought he walked all the way down. Did he just skip Castle Tiny Metal? That's crazy. Feather's a nice pickup. It's not clear if it's necessary, but... Oh no, I've just had a realization. Feather on the path to Key 8? Feather for Jape's Tiny Metal? Jape's CBs are on the path to Key 8? I would not be surprised if that's our answer to that.
Okay.
And with that, Feather, I believe Jape's Tiny Metal is in logic for Jacob, so he can run back to Jape's and get that whenever he wants. Metals in these settings are only 40, it's not quite 45, but still Jape's Tiny Metal is pretty annoying at 40 anyway. Coconut and Feather should be enough. That seems to imply as well that Mini might be feather locked or something, but that's going to be a little bit trickier to judge. Alright, random castle entrance. That's not a bad one to find. Alright, we have found the top of the mushroom. That is from entering the entrance by Warp 1 in Castle. And Jacob is studiously writing it down because getting to the top of the mushroom solves a number of problems. For one thing, you don't have the convenient mushroom insides to climb to get to the top here. You have to find some way here. And on top of that, you get a bunch of lanky entrances here. You get a chunky entrance. And I guess your other way up here would be with Rocket Barrel, but Rocket Barrel seems like that's your chase item. And we have found nothing on Candy, which means I believe Cranky is our answer for Aztec Shops, which is very unfortunate. Is Jacob pointing not holding up to get Diddy? I believe so. It certainly seems to be the case. It's not super obvious because once you get spit into the back of the mill, potion on Aztec Cranky DK. Thank you. That's a critical one. That appears to be our answer. That could be our Rocket Barrel. So then we need to know where Cranky is. And you know what? Look at this. Mike's churning through Aztec. Cranky is in Aztec somewhere. We know that much. No time to get digging. It's not a vanilla tiny temple, unfortunately. It is the tiny two-door ship, which we've seen and know to be garbage. Random prison for Jacob. Perhaps he can leverage this shockwave? Nope, looks like garbage. I am somewhat afraid that perhaps Jacob thinks he entered the mouth as his first entrance when it was actually the Jape's lobby entrance. I'm a little afraid of that. Oh, no, wait, that wasn't it. That was, No, yeah, it was... Enjoy the dive. That one kind of hurts a little bit. Fortunately, you have the warp, so we're good to go. And of course, there's a potion on Forest Cranky Diddy, so we'll have to keep that in mind because we don't have Cranky yet. Fortunately, one of the perks of finding the top of the mushroom is that once you find it, you got your Warp 5 and you can get up really easily. Oh boy, a Llama Temple. We could find Cranky in the Llama Temple. This is a very easy entrance to access. This would be a huge pull if it's in here. That's Mike's third crown. I'm sure he's counting. Third scene.
Casinos aren't real, you guys.
Oh, yeah. Of course not.
The brain's true once again.
Alright, well, now my head just exploded. We just got Mini Monkey on Aztec Donkey Metal. I mean, Mini Monkey's a great pickup, but... How do you square that circle? Now, Jacob smart cookie that he is leveraging this cop that's in...
He is at least trying to.
He is trying to. This cop does not seem to be functional after this cutscene, which I suppose works in your benefit most of the time when you walk away from him and don't want to get caught. In this instance, he would like to get caught so that he gets sent out. I guess it just disables this guy. That's tragic.
Did you know that Donkey Kong 64 was made in a cave? Well, now you do.
We got a layabout here. Well, so
that is a crazy edge case.
Well, this one's probably a situation. Yeah, this is a situation where it generally works in your favor because you don't want to get immediately caught by this guy after slamming the switch every time. So this is like probably a good thing in this very niche instance, which LZR is full of. I promise you, you will run into these situations constantly in LZR. You're just like, wow, this very specific use case does not work for me at all, and I hate it. Thanks.
Oh, also, that's a potion on the ferry.
That is a flying potion, and we do not have the camera. I think it's yellow, which is a little bit weird.
Yeah, it looked yellow to me, yeah. Oh, Castle Lobby has the potion as well.
Oh, boy.
It's the time for the trophy flip?
It's time for the trophy flip. This Castle Lobby was... I think this was an Isles entrance? I don't remember where it was. I missed it. Nicely done. Or your red slam. Oh my.
Nice. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Not bad. Coconut walk check. Actually get some action here. Nope. And Jacob has opted to swim in lava water to get back to the start of Aztec. He is not risking pause exiting. Actually, yeah, he's not risking pause exiting here. He might not know it, but... Oh, he doesn't have Diddy, so he actually can't get back in the mountain if he did. Pause exit. He knows that exiting the mountain puts you outside, or he knows exiting Aztec puts you outside the mountain, so he can't pause exit here because he doesn't have Diddy to re-enter Japes Mountain. Meanwhile, Mike has found the inside of the mountain. You can probably get a look at Diddy Minecart, even though I'm not really sure Diddy Minecart is going to turn up anything. That red slam we found is not really hinted, so red slam checks are not looking too hot yet, but remains to be seen.
It's going to show up right here. Nope. Just premature golden banana. It's not quite ripe yet.
Just a banana middle. And the minecarts are particularly problematic to randomize, so this one will spit you out because it's a one-way individual location. So if you find the mountain, you pretty likely you just found Japes, more or less. Of course, we already found Japes at this point, so particularly inspiring to be had here. And it seems they're just sort of roaming around and maybe backtracking to some extent. Mike might be trying to push for Japes' tiny medal here, but I'm pretty sure he's not. I'm pretty sure he's short. I think you always need feather for this medal. I think that's the bit that I had backwards. I thought it was always coconut. It's actually always feather for Japes' tiny medal. Checking the hive tunnel pulls out pineapple for him though, so now he's got to be thinking, wait a minute. How does pineapple tie into the castle surroundings? Uh-oh, that's a little spooky. Might need to find the tree, which is a non-trivial enterprise. And Mike is consulting his notes. What Isles entrance have we not seen? He's gonna go have a look at Cabin Isle, or this pineapple check actually makes a lot of sense. Don't forget your Isles checks, folks. In BLZR, or just in LZR in general. Very easy to orphan these bad boys. Do not forget them. They're easy, they're fast, they're probably some of the fastest checks you can do from a pause exit. Worth your time. Worth your time, I promise. Alright, Cabin Isle, what kind of entrance you got? That is entering Diddy's five-door ship. So that's pretty good galleon access, I suppose, but we kind of already had good galleon access already, I think. That's not particularly great. Or actually, this is definitely our best galleon access now. Jacob finding Mini Monkey on Aztec Donkey Medal and looks shocked. Kind of makes sense. He's got to be thinking along the lines of a. That might jog his memory to go back to Japes and check out the Japes Tiny Metal. Kind of curious what that is. Probably like a bongos, maybe something for Helm. Well, maybe a guitar. I think guitar fits a little bit better. Like discovering the weird internals of Grim Isle. But he's got punch, so we can have a look at this guy. No avail. And I think the Kong advantage is now working in Mike's favor as he's progressing the seat a little bit more efficiently. He's getting more checks without having to backtrack because he's just got all his Kongs with him as he runs around. Kind of the nature of the beast in LZR. Sometimes you make an early decision, and it kind of spins into a Kong, spins into a key, just spins into progression in general.
Yeah, even so, I feel it's really surprising that Jacob hasn't found Diddy yet. I mean,
I don't think it's terribly surprising. It's very easy to just like either forget an entrance or just not do an entrance for a while because you just have so much to do. You have the luxury of choice in LZR. The world is your oyster. You can do so many things, and doing any one thing will eject you into a different area of the world where you can then do many things. So you're just kind of ping-ponging back and forth all over the place. Yeah, not having success at a Shockwave is a little unfortunate for Jacob. That's like his one big advantage, but I would call that a big advantage because it's both a useful move and in a really awkward spot for Mike to go back to. I don't know when he's ever going to go back to counting. I want to see Donkey's 5-door temple here because I think Coconut seems to be a really strong answer here. I want to find Donkey's 5-door temple. Oh, here's the front of the mill, which is unfortunately not our answer. We need the back of the mill.
We've seen the back. That was, I think, just...
That's the Isle's mouth. That's the entrance in question. Jacob needs to see the back of the mill. Like opting to hedge against Aztec Chunky Metal. I think he might be thinking about... Are Aztec Metals hinted? I don't think they are. It's Japes Metals that are hinted, right? Might be making that up. Yeah, it's Japes Metals that are hinted, and Castle Metals that are hinted. So. Thornvine Barn out of the coconut locked entrance in Factory in Aztec. So let's see if this turns into anything. There's a lot of checks in here. Doesn't look like it unless it's on the ferry, and that would be highly unfortunate because we do not have a camera, nor do we know where a camera is. Seems the Thornvine Barn, maybe a dud. It's a dud. Unfortunate. I believe Mike already knows the Helm order. He is just dumping for GBs, which can progress your hints a little bit faster. Sometimes if you just end up next to Snide, this can be kind of useful. I wonder, and this is a question that's basically impossible to answer. Do you think Coconut might be on the path to that mini monkey on Aztec Donkey Metal? That's an impossible question to answer, but is there a world where we have to worry about that mini monkey possibly being on the path to key 7 and 8?
I mean, I feel like it, by nature of mini monkey, giving you access to a lot of entrances.
Did you know Angry Aztec has so much sand it's even in the wind? That's unbelievable. That's wild. And there's Mike's Power Hut hint, which is actually pretty good for him. He has not gone in there. That's the Seal Race. And that would get him his Spring, which answers some questions, but it doesn't really help you because you would really... I would imagine you're perfectly capable of just skipping Spring. Alright, so Jacob has decided I need to have a look at Japes. I need to go get this Japes Tiny Metal. He has not hit Warp 1, that's really funny. Okay, Aztec Lanky Metal. for Hunky Chunky is out of nowhere.
Wow. Okay.
That's completely... no idea what to make of that. I don't think that ties into anything we know yet, so we just kind of gotta sit on this one, I think. Why are there Jokins and BLZR of all things? One of my many whims. That one's on me, team. You're welcome.
Because he said so.
There's only 2 K rule phases. There actually is not a 3rd K rule phase. So there's only the 2 that we have to worry about. BLZR is very light on endgame requirements because it's very difficult to get them. So, our K rule requires Peanut, Rocket Barrel, and Barrels. And we have 2 of the 3 moves. So, we have 2 of the 3 moves and 2 of the 4 keys we need. Alright, Jacob is working on just a chunky metal, but Mike, with a pretty nice pull here, this Diddy 5-door temple just got hinted way of the horde. Oh, and it was guitar on Jape's tiny metal.
Huh. That's interesting.
This Diddy 5-door temple is vanilla, and it's cranky! Big pull for Mike.
Okay. Big things.
Is this even randomized?
Okay, so then, well, if...
So now you take your cranky back to the Aztec shop to scoop up whatever this item is. I think it might be Rocket Barrel. Feels pretty likely to be Rocket Barrel to me. Could be like bongos, but I don't know. Mike taking the wrong warp, that's a funny one. Good one, Mike. It is indeed a Rocket Barrel, so that solves...
Ooh.
That solves our K rule. Or that solves our Diddy phase, at least. So now, riddle me this. Where do you take Rocket Barrel to find Helm? I have no idea.
Probably wants to take it back to the Dark Rafters entrance first.
Right, for the upper cabin.
Yeah.
That doesn't make a lot of sense. He's got his... He's got his Rocket Barrel. Oh, you know what he doesn't have? He doesn't have a way to kill the... He doesn't have a way to logically kill the enemies in upper cabin. It's possible there isn't a purple claptrap there. But if there is a purple claptrap there, he's going to have a lot of problems.
Ooh. Oh, and he doesn't even have an instrument yet. Okay.
Yeah. Or he could find the oranges that are in main caves. If he finds those, he's good to go, but is he going to find those? Main caves is not easy to get to. Jacob had to do a very awkward death warp in Lanky's igloo to get into main caves. And then went out of logic to get the oranges anyway. He's just cheating all over the place. Fake cheating. You get the idea.
Fake cheating. Yep.
Out-of-logic motions are extremely powerful in LZR a lot of the time, but they're also very dangerous because going so far out of logic can end up leaving you very confused.
Oh, dang.
Very, very confused. Jacob has finally remembered to go back into this entrance and is looking mildly surprised as he now runs immediately to the hinted entrance that is right here, and he'll find his Diddy and be like, wow, this kind of sucks.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a gamer slam right there. That's a gamer slam and a half. Ooh, man. The classic bonk the armrest of your chair softly. That's brutal.
I have definitely done that several times in my life.
Yep, I've been there. I've been there for sure. Alright, so... Back of the Mill also connects to Aztec Lobby, which connects to Tiny Temple of all places. Okay. If anything's in here, this is a great pickup. The greenhouse also got hinted away the horde. I forgot to mention that, so that clear vial is good. And Mike just found this somewhere. I did not catch where. Was that like... Where did he find this? Oh!
Ooh.
Oh!
Okay.
Okay, that's vines on Castle Lanky Metal, which might make Mike think that is the CB hint. He might think it's vines on the path to 8, and it's not necessarily. Your Helm is not necessarily locked by Helm Lobby. You do not necessarily need vines and Gorilla Gone to cross Helm Lobby in this seed. That is not a given.
Okay.
Oh, that was, I think that was a vanilla greenhouse. Maybe? Like, given where he is.
Doesn't
no.
greenhouse exit?
Leaving the greenhouse exit always puts you there. So yeah, no, that's expected. I don't know where he found that greenhouse. That's a little bit awkward. I wish I knew. He does find another lobby. Finding lobbies is really nice because they serve as connectors. You can sort of connect one Kong's entrance to a different Kong's entrance. No, we already found this. This was, okay. Exiting castle put you here. Yeah, we already knew that. Cool.
You can primate punch the crate from the inside of it. That's pretty fun.
Huh. I guess I never tried it before. Interesting. But it does open up an entrance in Aztec proper. Or in Forest proper, so you gotta kind of keep that in mind. Mike on his way back to factory to try and scoop up the power hut entrance, I believe. I mean, that's all that's gonna get him is spring, though, so nothing particularly inspiring. Seems ammo management is the name of the game here. Alright, well, with all this in mind, this might be Jacob's, like, first visit back to Galleon. Or it might be his, like, first proper underwater entrance. Maybe if he went to, like, Cabin Isle, it would have been much nicer for him, but he's found his way here eventually. I think he's gonna get the Aztec Diddy medal before he leaves, almost certainly. He's already thinking that. And he finds the camera that's spring-locked in the gold tower. Whoa!
That's good. Okay.
That's a nice pickup. That's a nice pickup for sure. And knowing that it's spring locked is even more massive now that he knows where spring is. But Mike is hot on his heels to pick up the spring himself. Oh, but that sends Jacob away from here. It's going to send him back to the Llama Temple and away from the Galleon Diddy medal, which is his chunky.
Has Chunky proved useful to us yet?
Actually, wait. Now that I think about it, I guess Chunky isn't all that useful to us as of yet, but we probably need to use that pineapple for something. That seems pretty likely to me.
True.
The tricky bit is that... Oh, actually, and he finds Diddy's 5-door ship and can just get the medal here, so that kind of solves that problem. Bypasses the problem entirely, which is excellent. Excellent news. The problem was he actually couldn't escape the treasure room because... we don't have diving yet. We actually don't know where diving is, so you can't escape the treasure room without diving. That's kind of awkward. Alright, but there you go. Jacob has picked up his Diddy Kong, so he's got his whole family. Still under an hour, which is pretty nice. But he's got to be kicking himself in the back of his head because it's like, man, I could have had that a lot sooner if I just made a couple different choices. And it's true. Darkroom coughing up strong Kong. Nothing particular. Not really worried about that. Not yet. We've seen the quicksand cave in Aztec, so that's not particularly interesting. Jacob respecting the back of the mills by making sure he checks all sorts of stuff here because it's a busy one here. Oh, instrument upgrade 2! In case you missed one bait vial, here's the other, also in factory. Nice try. You're not getting away that easy. And that is a vanilla leave the back of the mill. That's bizarre. That does help you go through the mini hole, which I think kicks you out the... Kick you out the lighthouse? That's bizarre. Kind of a weird spot for that entrance to tie you to. Alright, I think Jacob's got a pretty solid path forward here, though, now that he's recovered his family. He's got looks at trying to unpack the... He's got a chance to unpack the key 1 hint, but he's just kind of taking a sweet time on that one. The thing, another interesting thing with LZR is that keys are on the path to things because they only lock entrances, so they're significantly weaker than they are if they lock whole levels. So they can be on the path to things, which means that factory CBs to key 1 hint, and only key 1, probably means that the key 1 entrance isn't really all that interesting, which is to say, entering Aztec lobby. We know it as pretty good Japes access, which is, I think, has served Mike well, but Jacob has found his way to Japes already, so it kind of proves the point of not particularly interesting. Sprint is in Tiny's 5-door temple, I think.
Yep, Tiny's.
Interesting. And where did we see that Tiny 5-door temple? We saw that from exiting Galleon. It seems like Jacob's chasing Feather leads now, even though I think Feather is just pretty comfortably solving your guitar on Tiny Metal. I think that just solves it pretty well, and you don't have to worry about it too much more. Shockwave for Mike. He has recovered the one thing that Jacob has, so they're kind of back to a wash, I think, except maybe an edge in Jacob's favor, but no, I think an edge in Mike's favor. Mike has Cranky and Rocket Barrel, and that's a pretty big pickup. Finding that is huge for him. Yeah. Whereas Jacob has Feather and Guitar for it. It's about even, I think. I don't think that Hunky makes a big difference. Jacob has seen the slam. He just didn't do it. Probably because he hates it. Shockwave is equalized. I don't think that Strong Kong matters at all.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, Mike also has barrels, and we did see Tiny Potion on a boss.
Oh, that barrels was in the greenhouse, wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. So how did the hive item get him into the greenhouse? Am I stupid?
I don't remember. That was like right when Jacob was punching his chair, and I lost focus on Mike. So
that was a very good moment.
Chunky 5-door temple. Okay.
Chunky 5-door temple goes through Galleon lobby. Oh my lord! How did I miss all of that? Okay, thank you. I mean, that's brutal, but you can kind of think about it. If you've got... What's the one thing you got from Hive area? Pineapple. You can chase Pineapple leads and kind of figure out where you need to go from there. So with Chunky in hand, Jacob has... He's got leads on... He's got leads on his barrels. He's got leads on his key 1. Key 7 is a little bit more nebulous. That one's much trickier to figure out. You have to find Diddy 5-door temple, which is... Maybe you could infer that's a peanut entrance, but that's pretty tough. And on top of that, there's still the big mystery of where is the dungeon? We have no idea where the dungeon is. And the dungeon is Way of the Horde. It's kind of looking like that dungeon is going to turn out to be like our endpoint. That's going to be our key 7. But what do you even do, man? How do you even find the dungeon?
Right. Oh, this is Jacob's first time here. Okay.
This is his first look at this, because this... Yeah. That entrance is spring locked, and I guess he just never looked at it. Yeah. For no reason.
Yeah. I thought he had been enforced earlier, but he just never went around there. Okay.
Wait. Exiting caves gets you to factory lobby? I thought that was exiting castle. Where does exiting castle take you? I'm lost. Oh no. It's already over. You make one small mistake in your notes and... career's over. It's unfortunate. Mike is coming up on his 40 GBs, and he's gonna be chilling. Unfortunately, Mike is collecting CBs and Japes trying to pull information off this hint, but I don't think you can get this medal without Feather, and he doesn't have Feather, so he is just straight out of luck here. Japes medals are not gonna turn up anything for him. I don't think he's even close to Tiny's medal, and that's the medal that matters. Jacob is chasing Diddy entrances to try and find Diddy's 5-door temple, so he's on the right path here. It's a matter of finding the right Diddy entrance. It just so happens that the entrance he's looking for is vanilla, so. And when I mean chasing Diddy entrances, the quirk of LZR is that tag anywhere is still not in logic, which means any entrance you get to you have to be able to route through this whole thing without touching the tag barrel. So to get to a Diddy-locked check, it makes the most sense to check Diddy-locked entrances, because the entrances are expecting you to be Diddy to go through them already. And so if you're looking for, say, Diddy 5-door temple, it makes a lot of sense to start looking at Diddy cabins, Diddy igloo, to try and find the 5-door temple, because it's also a Diddy check. For a second I thought Mike was going to try and check the mechfish, but he doesn't have guitar. The mechfish, notorious entrance, is an entrance. Oh, what is that? It is a clear vial blasted to the top of the lighthouse. What might that be?
Ooh. Diving?
Oh gosh, that would be a... That's a crazy diving location, because the water is raised, or the water is lowered, which means you would have had to find that mini entrance to get this item. That diving is unhinged. Oh my god.
It is? Oh wow.
What the heck? That diving is unbelievable. Because the water is lowered, so you do not have logical access to the diving to the lighthouse platform. Your only logical access, then, is going through the punch-locked, mini-locked entrance in Forest to spawn on the platform. That's insane.
Dream Valley.
And now you're like, wait a minute, you came through that entrance with Tiny. Wouldn't you have to be Tiny? Well, there's warps on that platform, so you can warp away, tag, and then warp back. And what do you know, Tag Anywhere is back in game.
Why is that gate lowered for Mike? I thought he went through the star already.
I think he missed. Not one of them missed.
He missed the. I remember him like trying to get up onto the Lanky Gold Tower, but he missed and then he left. Or was that Jacob who did it early?
Jacob's done all this already, and now Mike is going to get his information on what was this camera? Very nice.
Yep. Huh. Weird.
Feather locked entrance in the form of the mausoleum turns into Tiny igloo. Not incredible, but this might be your logical... I don't remember what happens when you die in this cabin, or in this igloo. I don't know if it kicks you to the start of the cave, or... well, I guess you can always just pause exit out here and you're fine. Oh no.
That is a question.
Well, okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. We just got two very big hints. We may have found our Helm here. So entering Lanky's two-door ship is a hinted entrance, and then entering Donkey's 5-door cabin is a hinted entrance. Worth noting, your entrance hints will always hint the entrance to Helm. So we just got two more entrance hints. It's pretty likely, and we haven't seen Helm yet, it's pretty likely one of those two gets us into Helm. So Mike is immediately going to go take advantage of his diving to check the Lanky one immediately. And then the other one is Bongo's locked, and we do not know where Bongo's is. Not great. Not great, team. Maybe Bongo's is that yellow potion we saw on the Llama Temple Ferry. That would be horrifying. Equally horrifying, however, is Isle's cranky Lanky got hinted. And wouldn't you know it, the training grounds is... Oh, here's the dungeon!
Ooh, okay.
This is big. We needed to know where this was because we needed to get here to do Lanky Dungeon. We needed to know where this was. So we now know where it is. It's not super important that we do anything with it right now, but we know where it is. So write that down. We're coming back to it later. So I think I see a path forward in the seed. If you combine, by their powers combined, you scoop up the rocket barrel. You do lower cabin for something. Or you do upper cabin for trombone, maybe? I don't know. You go to the Llama Temple Ferry to get your bongos. Your bongos gets you into Helm, and it gets you Helm Donkey Medal, which is going to be the other of trombone or balloon, whichever one you didn't get out of lower cabin. You then go get key 7 out of Lanky Dungeon, and then we know where guitar is, and you beat the seed in key 8 with key 8. You're good to go. Wait, can he not kill them? Can Mike not kill the enemies in the lower cabin? He does not have a single usable instrument. This is a disaster. He doesn't have a single usable instrument or oranges. So he now knows where he knows where upper cabin is, but he can't kill anything. He can't kill the purple cloud trap. This is a disaster for him.
That's awesome.
Fortunately, this disaster will be shortly averted as he finds oranges right here rocket barrel locked, but he's gonna just like smack his head like, why couldn't I have found this before I found the cabin? You son of a gun.
Has Mike been to main caves?
No,
at all yet?
This is his first main caves visit. Very late in the seed, but that's fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing hinted in the main caves area. It just so happens that oranges is particularly useful in this seed. It's very funny. This isn't a requirement you think about a lot in Season 3 because you need guitar to enter the room, and guitar is enough to kill any enemy in there, so you're good to go. But if you enter from a different angle, if perhaps your loading zones are randomized, you do need a way to logically kill them. And logically, it requires either guitar or oranges. For, you know, tag anywhere purposes and whatnot. You could do springless all well and good, except your rocket barrel pad isn't spawned, or your rocket barrel isn't spawned. You literally can't do it. This is not one you can, like, skip with springless. You have to kill the enemy. No getting around it.
Yep.
Jacob with both guitar and oranges is fine. No problems. Worth noting that even though 40 GBs is the only thing that Mike needs to worry about to get... Or you only need 40 GBs to beat the seed, the hints go up to 50 GBs. Your last hint is at 50. And so... you can still get some value out of it all the way up to 50. Rocket is always there? Is it really? You making that up? Am I crazy?
The rocket barrel's always there. It's the spring pad that
Is it really?
goes up.
I'm crazy. Well, anyway, then...
You're gaslighting me.
One of us is gaslighting the
anymore.
other. That's hype. I have no idea. Now that I think about it, I could be persuaded to realize that I am the one doing the gaslighting, so you will... Rocket is always there. Son of a gun. I think you might be right on that one. I mean... The only guy he's telling me is Little King. He's pretty good. He's pretty alright at this game, you know? That guy knows his stuff.
Sure.
Fair enough. There's a lot of cheeky ways to bypass the spring pad with some clever twirls or kick slides off the candlesticks. Nevertheless, Mike, armed with the ability to bonk the enemy in upper cabin, will be off to the races. Once he feels like going back there. Do we need that bean? No, we don't need that bean on Jape's boss. That's really unfortunate. Unlucky. See, the problem is even if you skip spring, you're not really saving yourself that much grief, because, I mean, what are you gonna do? You get one half of the Lanky Dungeon combo, which not really that great for you. You kind of need both halves, or some way to skip like the balloon requirement, like twirl or something. Actually, I guess with oranges and donkey, you could probably do it as well. So yeah, some people will probably break out some like unhinged strategies. Perhaps like top level speedrunners may have done something very silly to get through that dungeon very efficiently, or maybe in the process of doing so. You never know in a 16-player qualifier, or at least there's 16 people in this race with 9 asyncs. So unless you finish top 6, your spot is not guaranteed. Top 6 are 100% in. Everyone else, except for fair game, 10 asyncs. I made that up. Top 6. Yeah, top 6. I still got it right, even though I got it wrong. I'm just the best to ever do it. Alright, what's our last pack of hints? Wow, some crazy scouring hints. Alright, so Tiny Temple is dead, so knowing where that is, who cares? Forget about it. Castle Underground is 2 potions. And then Castle Metal rewards 3 potions. Wow. Feather, vines, and something else for the Castle Metal rewards. And Castle Underground was... Ooh. Maybe Lanky Dungeon is a metal. Or is a vial and not a key. Or, I've been thinking it's a key, but I don't think that's a guarantee. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Very, very tricky scene. So for all the hubbub of, is this a Diddy seed or a donkey seed? We've arrived at the full family and there's still just a few loose ends to tie up, it seems. I want to see Jacob go back to hunting Diddy entrances. I feel like he hasn't properly cleaned them all out. He needs to get back to Aztec, I think, to resolve that properly. And what's our Aztec access here? Front of the mill? I think it's the front of the mill. So you would enter... Wait, where's the front of the mill? You would go through Jape's lobby, or you would enter the Jape's lobby entrance, run through the lower tunnel all the way to the other side, get put in the front of the mill, and then take the mini monkey hole in, and you're good to go. Or you enter the mountain like Jacob's doing, and you're back in Aztec. So he may have, more than one way to get places. Like he's breaking out the oranges to blow everything up. He's got spring, he's got rocket, he's off to the races. Who needs a guitar? This is likely to be one of trombone or balloon. We don't know which. You would much rather see trombone, but I don't complain about either. Because balloon just kind of like makes your life easier. I think the other one is in Helm, so you probably don't need to worry. You're already going to go through Helm. You probably don't need to worry about it too much. Alright, Diddy 5-door temple for Jacob. He is back on the trail. He is picked up on the thread that Mike has left. He's picked up on the thread that Mike has, but Jacob has also already gone down the whole feather shenanigans in order to pick up his guitar. And it is indeed trombone, so this is the one you wanted to see. But your lanky dungeon shenanigans are going to be really awkward anyway. If you find balloon, then life is good, but we'll see. I think one thing that'll help Jacob a lot is the last pack of hints. I don't know when the last pack of hints turns up. Not the 45 hints, but I think like the 30... They might be 36, actually. He might have already gotten them. Oh, and here comes Chunky 5-door temple. And this is going to get him through this lobby connector into the greenhouse, and this is going to pick up his barrels. He is cruising right now. Oh, Mike is going straight to Lanky Dungeon. He wants to scoop up whatever's here. He is going to probably muscle through with oranges and try and figure this out.
Yeah, this should not be so hard. You just hit yourself with an orange, and then you take the iframes to walk across the boom. With your DK rolling, you can make it to the next pillar in time. You do that here.
I'll say that it's easier said than done. Getting the proper ricochets off of the walls is just an exercise in itself. Because a lot of the time, if you miss, you blow up. Oh, wow. What is that? Is that bongos?
Yellow.
Is that going to be our bongos to get into Helm? That doesn't make sense. Or maybe it does make sense. Maybe it's just key 7 on the Helm medal then.
Can you DK flip? Or kick flip to the next pillar?
No,
That's what Mike was trying to do.
It's too far.
Okay.
Jacob getting the 1-2 combo of vine swinging and barrel throwing in the greenhouse. That's some damage right there. But if this is bongos for Mike, it puts him in a better spot. The problem is the balloon issue, or the feather issue is just gonna come back to bite him. Okay, wow, that one looked doable. And now maybe he blows. Okay, the second one is not doable. That is not close. So you can forget about that one.
Yeah.
You are absolutely gonna want some other way to do it. Oranges is probably the way to go about it. But oranges are so finicky, I don't blame him for bailing. The problem is I don't really feel like we have a good balloon hint. I think a balloon is going to be on our Isles Cranky shop when we have no idea where the training grounds is. How might we find the training grounds? So, If I were an individual trying to find the training grounds, I know that the training grounds need to be reached by all Kongs. They need to be reached by all Kongs because everything, or because Cranky could have something for any Kong. So it's an all Kong location. What other all Kong locations, or what other all Kong entrances are out there that we might not have seen yet? Did Mike just try to start making lanky and then change his mind? That'd be kind of funny. Options include, I think we've seen Exit Castle, but I haven't written it. I don't have it written down. Entering Galleon Lobby is one. Entering Castle Lobby, I think, is one. Those are the two ones that leap out of my mind. I'm not sure we've seen entering the lower cave in Castle, and I'm not sure we've seen the moat in Castle. Those are the all Kong entrances off the top of my head that make a lot of sense.
I feel like we've seen the moat
entrance
from Mike.
I know we've seen the Warp 1 entrance, but I don't know if we've seen the moat entrance. Maybe Mike checked it. I
feel like he found that pretty early.
There's also just a huge amount of mushroom entrances it could be. I haven't kept tabs on which ones they've checked, but it could be any of them that you can like fly to with Diddy. Just anything anywhere up the side of the mushroom, inside or outside. Those are all fair game too. Fortunately, we know where the inside of the mushroom is. Galleon Lobby is very tricky with that diving location, and the fact that Mike has diving may help him. It's hard to say though. Because what would be really nice is to go back to Castle and scoop up your Castle Tiny Metal and get your feather. Maybe he thinks he's done it. Maybe he like thought that like, oh yeah, I've totally done it because I like did that walk down Castle. It's possible.
That would be really bad for us.
That would not be great. Meanwhile, Jacob is hot on the trail now. He is off to get his trombone here. He'll be very happy to see this. So I think, given the state of the scene, I think it's most likely that the Helm Donkey Medal is our key 7. I think that makes the most sense right now. And that bongos are in the Lanky Dungeon, and then you put Balloon on. That was Cranky. There's the feather for Mike. So he is back in the hunt, and suddenly it's very tight between these two, I think, because Mike goes to run and grab his guitar, and he's going to be like, yay. But then it becomes a hunt for either Balloon, or maybe Jacob is feeling adventurous and sends the Lanky Dungeon. I don't think he's seen the dungeon yet. I'm not sure he has the entrance hints. I think it's the second to last page of hints that's really important. I'm not sure what threshold or how many CBs or how many GBs you need for that hint. He's at 39 GBs, so he is very close to just having his 40 and being done. I know it's not the 45 hints. It's the one before. That might be 36, 38, or maybe it's 40. I'm not sure. Anyway, on to Mike as he is racing through Japes to try and scoop up his Japes Tiny Metal. Random potion off Cranky and Forest. Hello. It's great. Oh. Nice. Won't complain. Not useful, but... Maybe he was hoping that was a Balloon. I think Balloon is going to be in the hinted shop in the training grounds. And you can skip Balloon. You're going to be in great shape here, I think, in this seed.
Yeah. Oh, here's Llama Temple. It's the bottom of the mushroom. Okay.
Yes, and Jacob is trying to pull bongos from this vial. But I think this is going to be like grab or something. It's blast. Okay. Unfortunate. Something that I'm pretty sure they've both forgotten about, because I forgot about it until just now, is that the factory boss has a purple potion. If that's Twirl would definitely get you past Lanky Dungeon, no problem.
Yeah.
So Mike is going back to factory. I think he might be gambling on doing the factory boss to try and get Twirl, which would be kind of crazy.
Got about he's got 1/3 chance.
Here he goes. Yep. He's rolling around at this boss door. He's rolling around at the boss door. Alright, we're gonna see an Army 2 in an attempt to get Twirl. It is a 1 in 3 for him. This could be Sax, this could be Twirl, this could be Monkey Port. What's it gonna be?
I believe. I think it's gonna be Twirl.
Jacob back on the hunt. His progression is probably either finding the dungeon or finding balloons somehow. Well, I think it's just finding the dungeon. I don't know how comfortable he is with orange skipping in Lanky Dungeon. I know I wouldn't be super comfortable with it, but I might just be willing to just like do it until it works because, by golly, it gets me out of the seed faster. Red Slam does not appear to be needed. Red Slam would only be for things in Japes, and I don't think we've got that problem. So.
I think everyone did it once over of all the tickets.
Yeah, we've had a good look through Japes. Even things like Diddy Mountain. And for what it's worth, Jacob has also seen where that slam is. He has seen it in Castle Lobby. Unbelievable, nobody's going back to the J Plus for Beam. That's very sad.
Such a shame.
I know. You hate to see it. But Jacob might be kind of gambling on trying to find the training grounds through Trombone. He's close, but no cigar. Right, I think it's Badge 8 is your winner, but he's looking through hints, looking for something. I'm not sure what. There's two pretty big hints in there that I wonder if he's just not seeing. You can always go back and scoop up his T1 off the T1 hint. That would be a productive use of time. Alright, Army 2, what do you got for us? What do you got for us, buddy? Is this Twirl? If this is Twirl, it bails Mike out so hard. If it's not Twirl, it's just a huge waste of time.
Survey says
No Monkey Port. That is unfortunate. Puts him in a bit of a pickle here.
Not happy about that.
And now that Mike has his guitar, it's just like, I know that's my bongos. I know that's my bongos in Lanky Dungeon. I've seen the vial. I know it's yellow. Give it to me. But it simply can't be done. Yeah, it was very funny that Jacob like kind of found the training grounds in the form of finding the treehouse. Unfortunately, it does not actually connect. The tree entrance is also an all-con entrance, so this is actually a good check here. Could be through the tree, which would be crazy. Castles, Rhinos, and Dogo rules at any barrels boss? Sure, but we're looking for something out of logic here, so you can ignore your hints. Like, if you find Twirl, Twirl is never in logic for... I don't know about never, but it's never in glitchless logic for Lanky Dungeon. So... your hints don't really mean anything. You know it's purple. It's a 1 in 3. Roll the dice.
Helm Lobby. Okay.
Here's Helm Lobby. Here's a connector. It's possible to go through the tree to get to the training grounds. Or maybe you just want to look at this Splat too. Why not? I don't think Sniper is our answer here, so I don't think we need to worry about this at all. Sniper was an answer once upon a time, but no more. We get some mushroom entrances maybe on Mike. This might be useful. Could be good. Did he want this? What did this Splat drop? I didn't even see.
It was just a GB, but
Probably fairly quick.
he's scrounging for some hints.
It's 41. Okay. Oh, no, wait. Is 41 the 8-pack? The 8th pack? Really need that. Real bad. It's the tree itself. That's unfortunate. Does not appear that this is our answer.
That's that's like a one-room buffer from being vanilla.
Yeah, that's the nature of connectors. They can insert themselves at inconvenient locations at their leisure. Some other interesting all-Kong entrances that I think we've seen already would include, like, I think we've seen Tiny Temple I think we've seen the Lana Temple. I want to say we've seen Exit Castle, but I don't remember what it is. I don't have anything in my notes on that, but probably just because they just did it once and was like, I hate this, I'm never doing it again. Oh, Charge. That's our third castle medal item.
That's, yeah. Castle medals have been... And Aztec medals have been...
Okay, here's the... Jacob is looking at the hints. He's like, wait a minute, this is new. This is big, because this is the two things... This is exactly the two things he needs. He needs to find where the dungeon is, which is through Lanky Two-Door Ship, and he needs to find Helm, which is through Bongos, which is in the dungeon, which is through Lanky Two-Door Ship. So I think he's going to run there immediately. This is his salvation. And this is the nature of the beast in LZR. It's so windy and twisty that it's so easy to just get lost in the sauce. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't have diving, so he has to slam the switch, make sure it, like, goes through. Like, wait a second, make sure the cutscene, make sure nothing funny happens here. And then pause exit because he doesn't have diving. So he has to find his way back to Galleon underwater, which I believe he does through... Have an Isle. Off he goes. Another great all Kong entrance that Mike is running to is Lanky Attic. This is a sneaky one. This is one that all Kongs can access. But generally it's only got like a Lanky item inside, so like it's effectively a Lanky only room. But it's an all Kong entrance. Any Kong can access that entrance. So it's fair game. Mike is not interested in the mechfish. How droll. Oh, this is the beetle race. We have seen this. I think Jacob did this. Alright, Jacob has found the dungeon, and he is like, oh no. He's like, oh no, I don't have twirl. I don't have balloon. It's time for some pain. Right, so one of the randomizer settings turns off the timers on the 2-door ship and 5-door ship, which in turn means they stay open. So all you have to do is hit the switch, and then you're good to go. But you know,
he's going for it.
Right, here come the oranges. Here come the oranges. He's testing the waters here. He's like, all right, how do we want to go about this? Mike showed that you can make this first kick with just DK, just good jumps. I think this one in the middle of the lava is a little bit harder than the rest, because now you have like an easy wall to bounce off of. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent orange work. Oranges are the low-key savior of this seed. This works. He's got one more to go.
Oh, beautiful.
Absolutely well done. Huge. And there's his bongos, and that puts him in Helm, and I think that sets him on the right track. Because he has the Helm entrance, what we think is the Helm entrance hinted. We don't actually know. So how do you get to caves? He chooses back of the mill, exit the back of the mill, which puts you in forest. Enter the front of the mill? To enter the dark rafters, which puts you in upper cabin, and then you pause exit at upper cabin. There you go. Now, the question is, he's on the right track, but is it too late for him? Is it too late for him? An hour 30 into the seed? These seeds wrap up real quick. Helm has no bonus barrels. You are flying through this instantly. Helm is very fast. He will be in and out of Helm in like minutes. So I estimate he's... Oh gosh. What's our fight? Dogged on 1?
Dogged on 1 and Diddy Phase.
I think he's like 3 or 4 minutes out from finishing. He's very close. Wait, this isn't it. Oh, it's the 5-door cabin. It's not the rotating cabin. He went the wrong one. Oh no. Does he realize that? He's reading? He's reading?
Yep, there it is.
And he's like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, He goobed. He goobed. That's all good. We all goob. That's a classic. This is a classic panic misread. I am absolutely guilty of exactly this. Where I think I know where I'm going, and I just like write it down wrong. It happens at like a triple frequency in LZR. This is the classic. Oh, we found it! We found the training grounds. Mike found it. The training grounds in the night door in the mushroom, like I was saying, is just an all Kong entrance, and the mushroom has a lot of them.
Yeah.
There you go. This should be his balloon, I think. And if it's his balloon, he's off to the races. Lanky buys it, fear not.
Oh, key 7 was just in Helm.
Yes,
okay.
It is. That tracks with our theory. Oh, Jacob doesn't have key 1. He's gonna go run and get that at a factory. Oh no. He's gonna get back to factory really quick. I forgot about that. I forgot he hadn't picked up key 1 yet. It hasn't been relevant at all until exactly right now, so now it's time to do your chores, go back to factory, go get your medals, get your key 1.
Depending on... Yeah, I still feel like Jacob has a solid lead.
I believe so too. It depends how fast Mike ties everything together, but he is going to be cruising to the end very quickly. Helm is not much of a lead at all because look at this, he's already done. It's like you're in and out in like a minute or two. So fast. He does not have a lot of time to beat Mike. He does not have a lot of time to find his key 1 on factory metal if he wants to beat Mike. Because Mike is just he's about a helm apart at this point. So long as Mike has a decent map of how to get to Helm, or how to get to caves. This factory was very easy to get to. We found like 4 different ways in, which is a rarity. Oh no, are you really gonna just go die in the crusher room? There's gotta be better. It's safe to pause it here, because you have all your guns needed to get through the crypt. So here we go. The race is on. Does Jacob find key 1 out of factory before Mike beats Helm? Clutch up, brother. Clutch up in the dungeon. You have insane ice physics when you land. Zlanky, it's crazy. Oh my god, I thought he fell beyond it. Holy smokes. Here we go. Wait, was it Wath hinted?
No, it was Path hinted.
No, it was actually Wath hinted, so Jacob is not going to have much mystery because factory Diddy Metal is particularly easy to get. You probably do this, then you run to like R&D and like shoot a couple balloons and you're off to the races. Or maybe run to like Cranky or something. Or run to Funky. Maybe your 5 warp is good. R&D works too. Mike is running through Helm. Yeah, so I think Jacob looks like he's got this by like a minute or 2. However, a minute or 2 matters in a Blitz qualifier when only so many people qualify. 10 asyncs, 16 entrants in this race, which means you're only safe if you're top 6. And, spoiler alert, the top 6 is taken. Uh-oh. So you really want to be done right now.
Thanks.
The longer you wait, the worse it gets. Key 1, bang. Off the Helm for Mike. Here we go. We have a Dogadon 1 and a Diddy phase to finish it off.
A very interesting palette for Dogadon. Looks like a pale dragon or something.
Yeah, the random colors are not doing him any favors. He's like undead or something.
Yeah.
He's got that like resurrected. He's firing like blue flames. Going crazy.
This is what Dogadon 2 should have looked like. Yeah, pretty fast final bosses here. I mean, Doga 1 Diddy phase, I think that's like the fastest you can get it. Fastest you can ask for, man.
You can get faster ones. I think these like 3 phase barrels bosses are pretty comparable to a lot of other phases. Like I think like a donkey phase is faster. Diddy phase is really fast too.
Maybe.
Mike is almost on his way in. Engines are high. Where? do you place in the grand scheme of things? Where do you place in the grand race lobby? In this absolute jumbo jet of a seed, a 136 for an LZR, that's pretty fast. And we'll get to the lobby in a minute. This may well be one of the fastest seeds I've ever seen in LZR. This might be the fastest seed I've ever seen, in fact. It opened up so fast, dumped all your Kongs on you, gave you plenty of information to work with. You made a good map of the world, you had good ways to get into caves, good ways to get into factory, ways to get into Aztec. You're off to the races. Bang, and that is time for Jacob. He clocks in 10th place in this lobby with a 1:37.02. Mike in the final fights. He's right at it.
Wow.
So, to get top 16, a 1:37.02 needs to beat 4 asyncs. Hard to say. There's some names in these asyncs, that's for sure. And here we go. Like finishing up, we'll pull Jacob in and say hey. Hey bud, how you doing?
Mornin.
What a seed.
What a funny seed.
Very funny. Careful wording, I see.
Hey, I'm still mad about that cop in Aztec, honestly.
That was a brutal one. You've discovered
I need to know why he never caught me.
I believe he is disabled. Because, like, imagine if there was a cop there, and there's a cop there all the time, and you slam that switch, and then you just got immediately caught at the end of the cutscene.
Well, that's the thing. I could have swore that's happened to me. That's why I was hoping to send me to Aztec main.
You might be right, because I feel like I hightail it out of that switch every time there's a cop there, just like, oh, please don't get me, please don't get me.
Yeah, just out of instinct.
Yeah, exactly. Now
that's why I'm so surprised where I will stand in front of him for 2 minutes, he doesn't catch me, and then I go to the other end of the area, he still isn't back to catch me, so I don't know what's up.
He'll get you on the way in, but maybe not the way out, I don't know.
Maybe.
Mike with one more light to go.
I imagine.
And here comes Mike, and that is a GG for Mike. He clocks in at a 1:38.49 in 11th place, right behind each other.
Of course.
Well done. I'm gonna grab him.
Very evenly matched, which is to say, 30 minutes behind everyone else. How?
Wouldn't you know it? Our top time today, Obio at 1 hours, 3 minutes, and 11 seconds.
Holy.
Comfortably the fastest time I've ever seen in a race, in any settings.
100%.
It's crazy. That's wild.
And I could totally believe it too. I should have definitely had cogs by 8 minutes, and I forgot to check them out.
Yeah, Mike had his family in under 30 minutes, and we were like, he's cruising, he's off to the races. And then things just kind of fall apart, as usual, in LZR.
Yeah. I may have done the factory boss on the 1 in 3 chance that was twirl, so I could skip balloon.
So I did skip balloon using oranges.
Oh yeah, that's a thing you can do, isn't it?
I have no idea where presumably Isle's training grounds is.
Night door.
No.
The
because I jumped out there and I got hit by the Gasplat and then just cut my loss.
I also got hit by the Gasplat, but he didn't knock me off, so I punched him in the face and went in.
I got sent all the way down in front of the cranky, saw there was a potion, like, wonder if that's important. It wasn't.
I thought, when you fell off, I thought you were going to go back up there, so I didn't make a big deal of it. I was like, yeah, you got the 5 warp, it's fine, just go back up there. And then you didn't go back up there, and I was like, whatever, we'll just come back to it later. And then turns out that entrance is maybe essential. maybe really helpful.
Maybe.
A little important, but
I imagine some people did some...
The virtuous oranges in caves.
Yeah, I imagine some people did some unholy things in Lanky Dungeon to make it work.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
That's the... It's a tricky spot for that dungeon, the tutorship, but it's gettable.
It's easy. Just get diving from top of the lighthouse.
Oh, that's where that is?
That diving is unhinged. You have to logically punch the chest in the back of there, punch the box in the back of the mills, and then go through the mini hole in forest to get there.
I was gonna say, because I saw that I know I saw lighthouse entrance at some point. That's what got me to go kill Kevin, and I'm like, that's probably nothing. I don't have rocket or blast. Who cares? Lo and behold,
diabolical, because your only logical way onto that platform is through that entrance, so you have to do that if you want diving, which is crazy.
Classic BLZR.
Actual madness. Well, gamers, I have good news and bad news. The The bad news is you kind of got mollywopped in this seed. It's a little bit rough. On our fastest time is a 103. Second place at 110. Boytley. Third place, Violet Pumpkin at 112.47. Camerson 118.21. Mumbo at 120.10. There's some fast times for your top 5. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And you guys got 10th and 11th. How are we feeling about that? There are 10 asyncs. There's a chance.
I would be shocked if if I got booted out of beta. I don't think I'm that bad at math, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, so there's 16 entrants and 10 asyncs. And wouldn't you know it, you two have claimed in the preliminary standings 15 and 16.
Oh, we lived.
No way.
Oh, we lived.
We did it.
The boys
That's
lived.
So funny.
Well done.
Edged in by the skin of their teeth.
God.
They live to fight another seed. And maybe this one you'll hold up and go back in the Isle's mouth.
Can't wait to go up against Obio, who
Maybe.
beat me by
Dude,
35 minutes in this one.
The mouth is so annoying to me because I was bashing Revan a couple of days ago for him orphaning that entrance in an LZR he did.
Oh,
And then I'm like, yeah, I guess
no.
I should probably do lobby 1 first because it has an item. And then I missed the item going in. I'm like, it's a GB, who cares? So I didn't get the benefit of either A, getting my Diddy Sphere 0, or B, the item in lobby 1, which is the whole point of going that way.
Oh yeah. Restream didn't catch it, but us commentators definitely saw the situation that unfurled when you found that Diddy call.
What could have been really interesting is that the way you went, you ended up getting DK really fast, and so you had DK in your first trip through factory, and so I was thinking, we were thinking really, okay, so this is a Diddy seed or a DK seed, which one did you grab first? Mike just ends up getting them both relatively early, and then it's like, well, okay, I guess only Jacob is going to discover this is a DK seed.
Yeah, I got a question about that, because exiting Forest got hinted, but you could get to the top of the mushroom by going through the moat door.
It was hinting it hints any way to get to that map. So it was hinting the giant mushroom map, which had your DK.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
It
why
finds
was
just
hinted.
a way for you to get there and hints that. And usually it usually finds the one of the first or the easiest ways to get to that map.
Yeah, an exit forest is the easiest. I'd never clued into that. I'm like, I just hope I didn't miss something on Night Door that I should have paid attention to. And I did, it's just the other side of Night Door.
Tragic. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. You sometimes you just like take a wrong turn and you lose 30 minutes. It's crazy.
Yeah, literally.
Totally got bailed out by the Scouring Castle Metals hint, though. I did not have Feather until that point.
When was that hint?
So
Wait,
like
what did you get on
48
Castle Metals then?
I got Vines off the Lanky Metal first, and I was like, huh, I wonder what that's.
Yeah.
And then I saw there's 2 other potions there, and I'm like, oh god, I gotta go back.
3 on the metals?
Who's the third?
Yeah.
There's 3. Donkey's Metal also has something, but I didn't get it.
I think the
yeah.
45 hints have that info.
Yeah,
It's that
I only
48.
got the 41.
I went all the way to 50 just to be safe.
Yeah, when did you find the lanky metal before you were climbing down castle? Because we had thought you had gotten the tiny metal your like first.
No, I just did part of Tiny's Metal, and it was like, yeah, I'll get this later.
Okay.
And then, lo and behold, later it came around with a hint.
Yeah.
was like-
Vine's path would have been diabolical, dude.
It would have been absolutely evil. I also found Fairy Camera, Shockwave, Slam 3.
I didn't
Hunky
find Slam
Chunky.
3.
Slam 3 is a Trophy Flip.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
did see that. I got halfway through a backflip, realized it's hinted Doga a 1 on a path, and therefore nothing up there is important, and it just failed.
Yeah. Hey, it got me a crown, though, so... good move.
There was a lot of crowns.
Crowns.
I
There were a
did
lot
shout-
of crowns. Yeah.
I did shout you out every time I saw one. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
They seem to like come in like clumps, and like 3 of them showed up within like 2 minutes of each other, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, but
That
the
was
way
like
those
the
appear,
gallery,
you'd
wasn't
think you would need them for like a mysterious extra jetpack or something, like instead of medals or something. But no, they just appear in clumps for no reason.
Nah, they're just living their best life.
They're chilling.
I can't believe that you didn't even check the Japes boss. You didn't even look at what the Japes boss was when you saw the
I-
news of being there. surprised.
Wait, I gotta
don't think I had
redeem
DK.
to fight it. Hold on, I
Mike?
go back now.
Mike did not have DK. Jacob, you
I
definitely
did
had
not
DK.
know. My
I
first two
had
levels were
DK,
Factory
and I
and
was
Jape.
I was livid when I saw him. Like, there's no way that's it when Diddy Metal is already hinted, or not Diddy Metal, Tiny Metal was already hinted. Like, I cannot in good faith look at this,
A little bit ambitious.
especially since it wasn't feeling like there was going to be that long of a seed as is, and like I need to get as much time as I can.
I'm a big fan, Mike, of the Twirl Gambit on the factory boss.
Thank you.
Big fan.
I figured it was worth a shot, but it was very disappointing when it was just Monkey Port.
It's a 1 in 3,
Dang.
but if the 1 in 3 beats your seed, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a fair gamble.
If it was there, I would have beaten Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if I had chosen not to do that and just look for wherever Isle's shop was, I would have beaten Jacob.
I hate math. Don't you hate math?
I do hate math. It's
Oh my
awful,
god, it's
man.
DK face. I was
It's-
never doing this even if I peaked.
Oh god, it's DK phase?
Oh my god.
Where's Blast?
The Fairy and Llama Temple.
Oh, interesting. I did go into Llama Temple briefly and was like, nope, because it wasn't
Really?
training grounds.
I think the Llama Temple makes a lot of sense to dig out if you're looking for Cranky still. But
Yeah.
if you had Cranky at that point, then we'll get about it.
Oh, I did all the medals in Aztec trying to find Cranky, and then at the end decided to do Diddy 5-Door Temple, which was vanilla and was Cranky.
Yeah, I figured it was pointing to that because otherwise how are you putting peanuts to Aztec shops? And I kept getting distracted as I tend to do. I just kept
What?
putting it off for ages.
I think
They
you
could have been disconnected, because you could have done Peanut for something for 7 and 8, and then it's just also for Diddy K rule.
right.
But
Possible. How does Coconut tie into that?
Maybe. But with Aztec shops also into the same thing, like they tend to link together. The paths are too similar for it not to be.
How does Coconut tie into 7 and 8?
It gets you spring on Isles,
Ooh.
Coconut Cage. That gets you into
No,
that was
rafters
P5.
and lets you do upper.
that was key 5 on Isles
I think
Coconut.
you're right for the wrong reasons. It gets you spring on through the power
Alpha
hut.
Steel Race.
On the
Yeah,
Steelers.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay,
And
yeah.
key
I'm
5
getting
is
that backwards.
Key 5 is a Coconut Cage Jam.
Yeah, Coconut Cage is there. Yeah, you get yeah. That's where.
Yeah, yeah.
Kidding? There are 8 path hints this seed. That's like none.
I know. I felt like I had none. I'm like, is everything backloaded? Like, is because we have Blue Slime is my most important path on the 50? Luckily not, but like,
I will say it was nice to have 6 hinted loading zones after my last seed only had 2.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very grateful for those hinted loading zones because I hadn't checked the 2-door loading zones.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You were roaming around the world kind of blind, and it was like, man, if he just gets that next pack of hints, it just solves all his problems because it points
Yeah.
you to the exact two things you needed.
Yeah, it's the literal 2 things I needed. And then I walk into DK Twirl Cabin. Like, oh my god, is there a Strongcon requirement in this? I look at it, it's a GB, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
I'm
like, alright, he's running
blind.
the caves. He's gonna
I'm
probably find.
blind.
He's gonna probably find Helm here because we didn't actually know where Helm was. And
Then I went in the wrong cabin. I
Yeah.
knocked on the wrong door.
I was like, wait a minute. This
I
wasn't the
almost
right
knocked on the wrong door. It was close.
It's so
Well, that
close to
came
the
out of
2
it.
warp. Why wouldn't that be the important one?
Cheeky.
Cave's Donkey Cabin? Oh, of course, it's this one.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
confusing at all. What a seed, what a seed. Well, anyway, I believe we were all set here, so you guys, you're in May
Phew.
15th and 16th. Only the half an hour ahead of you, OBO may prove an intimidating foe. So best of luck.
Depends on if everyone's participating, but
Yeah.
Best of luck to you guys. Anywho, we're all done here, so we're gonna get y'all out of here, and we'll call it a wrap on this one. Thanks for watching, team. Hope you enjoyed this one. The Blitz tournament. What am I even saying? The Blitz tournament will be ongoing the next week. 1 week. We have a 16-man single elimination bracket. You lose, you're out. 1v1, mano-y-mano, LZR style. It's gonna be wild times. So make sure you're following the DK64 category. And make sure you're following DK64 speedruns. Later tonight, we have the DKCS Challenge Series, or the Donkey Kong 64 Challenge Series ongoing. Exciting times as we play the vanilla game in wacky and bizarre, contrived games, weird challenges, something off the wall that you've never seen before. Crazy stuff. You want to stick around for that. I believe that also ends up on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, shout out to YouTube. Y'all are chilling. When I say subscribe, the button flashes up below you. It's kind of crazy. Seen it in action. It's unbelievable. It's true, though.
It feels like a fake feature, like someone that tells you like a school ground rumor, but it actually is real.
It's real, I promise. There's a little pink cover around it. It's crazy. If you missed it, just like wind back in this video in like 10 seconds. Woohoo. Make sure you're swinging by the Discord, discord.dk64randomizer.com, to catch when we might have more matches scheduled. Who knows? Our scheduling for Blitz tournaments is usually a little up in the air, but we usually get the finals, so if you wanted to watch more of this one, keep an eye on the Discord for when that gets scheduled and when that event will occur, and also just hang out. Maybe go find somebody to play Archipelago with. Yeehaw, that's new and fancy.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy ongoings at DK64randomizer.com. Fun times at
all of the bugs.
That's just business as usual is what I would call that. Par for the course.
You could even maybe learn how to make music for the Randomizer, because I don't know if you know this, but custom music is good.
This is all DK64 sound file music. It's kind of insane when you think about it.
Yeah, I did not have the chance to shout it out because BLZR was putting me in the sauce during that whole race. But
puts everyone into the blender. It puts the runners into the blender. It puts the commentators into the blender. It puts the bracket into the blender.
Yep.
Who knows?
But yes, music good. Check it out.
Music good. And on that, we'll send y'all off. Make sure you stick around later today. Donkey Kong 64 Challenge Series is going to be great. Catch y'all then. Till then. Morning.
Mornin.
Morning.
Morning.